Is it okay?
Yeah. Okay, so this is Seth Dellinger, and I'm doing a workshop this weekend with Margarita Castro, and we're going to work on some yoga asanas with Feldenkrais, and we have Juliana and Alexi here doing their downward dog. So I'm just going to talk them through something. You guys are already doing it. So just feel what you like about your downward dog right now, and maybe what could be a little more comfortable. And notice a few things. So if you just do whatever you're doing right now and you don't try to perfect it, just notice, do you have more weight on one hand than the other? Just check it out. And same thing with your feet. Is there more weight on one foot? Okay? And you can come out of it. So you don't have to hold your dog forever. Maybe take a little break, like come down or whatever. And then I'm just going to ask you to come back into the pose a couple of times, and we're going to do a couple little variations with it. And then I'm going to ask you what you notice might have changed. So now, just feel, again, maybe your weight is more on one hand, and maybe your weight is more on one foot. So if you actually don't try to correct it, but you make more weight on the hand that has the weight and more weight on the hand that has the foot, and you begin to shift. So just feel there's maybe a little bias that is naturally there. And go sort of to your middle, and then go into the bias and come in and out of it. And notice if you were to really exaggerate it, if you could imagine looking under one armpit, like up towards the ceiling. But on the side where it feels like you're already sort of doing it, and go back. And just do this a few times, listen to your breathing, make it easy. Okay, come down and take a rest. Right, just breathe for a moment, feel how you're doing. And in a moment, you're just gonna come back into your downward dog, and whenever you're ready. So first just go into it again, and without correcting anything, again, notice where's the weight on your hands, where's the weight on your feet? Is there the same bias, more bias, less bias? Okay, do the movement you just did, where you shift deliberately towards the side of your feet or towards the hand that feels, and you look under one armpit. And now slowly come back to the middle and shift to look the other way, shifting the hand onto the weight onto the hand that didn't originally sort of naturally take it, the foot, and look under that arm, and then go to the middle and shift this other direction a few times. Go to the middle and shift a few times. Okay. And then shift once in one direction, which we'll call your natural bias, and then shift the other way, which feels like a sort of the non-habitual movement. Do that a couple times, one side and the other, just making sure you can breathe okay, that you're not overworking if you need to rest. Anyway, that's enough. Take a rest. Come down. And so, obviously, if you have a bias, different places work more, so we kind of emphasize that, and then we went to the places that don't tend to work less, and we made them work more by going the opposite. So last thing is just to do your downward dog again, and just try to think of the very first downward dog you did, and see if you notice any change or difference. And then if you would be so kind, if you just come back out and like come over, and either one of you, if you'd say quickly if you notice any change. What changed for you? So go ahead and just come out. What happened for you, Juliana?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, more than, I'm not sure if it's about weight, but I definitely feel a difference between one shoulder and the other.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if, I feel I hold more weight on my left side,
Uh-huh.
but doing the movement I got confused, because it's the one that I feel more tight, but then probably it's more natural to me to hold more weight
Uh-huh.
in this one, just because this one feels more tight.
Right.
So just like trying to understand.
So
if
the
it's
process
weight.
was essentially doing and really emphasizing what you normally do, and then asking you to do the thing you don't normally do, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm just wondering if after that you noticed a general difference or not so much?
Yes.
And how would you describe the general difference of the last downward dog compared to the first
I
one?
would say more clarity into what my body tends to do.
Okay.
It's like understanding better.
Understanding your own kind of personal pattern a little better.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Thank you. And Alexi, what was that experience like for you?
First thing, I feel much more awareness in the middle part of my back
Uh-huh.
and back in my back in general, and the muscles which are closer to the core, to the center of the spine, because shifting weight kind of brought more awareness, especially when I was coming out of the pose and going down to that area. And also it was an interesting observation, as Juliana said, about one arm and another, because it feels like, yeah, there's more tension on one side, but actually there's more weight on another side. So,
Mhm.
so it was kind of strange mind.
And so
mind game.
when you did those variations and you did your last downward dog, how did that compare to your first downward dog? Did it feel different?
Yeah. Again, much more awareness in general in body, and also it felt more grounded, and just both on hands and legs.
Cool. All right. That's Alexi and Juliana, two superstars. Oh, I can't. Now let's see. Get both of your faces and both of your. There you go. Beautiful. Thank you.